Welcome to Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
It's been a while, and it's time to finally talk about Super Sons. Written by Peter J. Tomasi with art by Jorge Jimenez. This is an interesting series because, number one, only a year later, less than a year later, it's totally irrelevant. And number two, when they announced Rebirth, they were like, we're doing Super Sons. And they released, I think it was this image. And people were like, this is awesome. I want to see Superman and Lois' son John be Superboy. I love the idea of the next generation of heroes, the world's finest team, having a, second generation team up kind of series.
Don't you love Damian?
And I hated Damian, but even I was willing to give it a shot because I liked John more than I hated Damian. And I will say this, Peter J. Tomasi also wrote Batman and Robin after Grant Morrison, and he gave Damian character and life the way that no one else was capable of doing it for me. And Tomasi taking over Super Sons was like, oh, well then I guess I have to buy every issue. And indeed I did. And I kind of dug Damian a little bit. It wasn't so much that he's my favorite character or that I was like getting Damian action figures and filling my whole room with Damian posters.
Gave you a little bit of context.
I was just like, he's cool. I'll take it.
Right.
He's a fun foil for John. For me, it's a John book. And sometimes there's Superman and Batman in it. And also Damian.
Damian can come too.
It's great, and it's a must-read. Jorge Jimenez is like that, like brownies, and then like you get the brownies, and you're like, I love brownies. But then there's that like layer of icing on the brownies where you're like, I don't really normally like icing, but holy shit, this icing makes the brownies that much. That's Jimenez in this book. The art is this beautiful, stylistic adaptation. It's like animation, but with the grounded reality of comics. There's structure, but there's also like fluid interpretation. It just works on every conceivable level. He was born to draw Super Sons. Then the book was canceled.
Why was it canceled? People didn't like it?
No, people loved it. It was just
So
that,
it's just like, oh, well,
I
we're
guess
done.
they're changing things around in DC.
yeah, they got rid of John, and they made
Oh.
Damian into an even bigger psycho. It's established in the pages of Superman when Tomasi was writing Superman, but then they were like, let's do a whole series, and here it is. And it's fun, and it's just genuinely fun. And it doesn't do all the things you'd expect a series about like preteens to be about. There isn't really any romance in it at all. It's just about two kids who hate each other, who are forced to work together because their dads work together.
What age group would you say it's like targeted at?
Right? I don't
Like
know.
middle school?
Here's the thing: everyone that I know who loves this book is in their 30s.
Right.
So I have no freaking idea. I hope that it reaches the demographic that it's targeted for. Like I hope.
Right. Children.
I hope like 11 to 15-year-olds love Super Sons, but I have no idea.
Just because a book has teenagers or young preteens in the book
Doesn't
that's
mean
about
it's
them,
for
doesn't
them.
mean it's for them.
No,
Yes, I
but
agree. But it is also
usually
for
it
them.
is.
Right. And it also is because it's got everything that they could want from a comic, and it's not edgy and dark and inappropriate.
Right.
Like, it can be for kids.
Yeah.
It includes them, but it's not
Yeah,
exclusive
it's
to
not
them.
Basically a comic book.
right.
Yeah.
Because for me, all ages comic books is a redundancy. Comic books should be for everybody. And some comic books are a little harder edged than others,
Yeah.
but for the most part, they are for everybody. In the comics that featured drugs in the 70s that had Spider-Man in them, the comics code was like, we won't put our label on it. And guess what? They sold just as well.
Right.
Actually, more so. Because of all the news around the fact that the comics code wouldn't approve it. And guess what? The world didn't end, the walls didn't fall down around Marvel Comics.
That's like if a kid was reading a Tom Clancy novel.
Right.
They're like, hey, what are you doing? You can't read that. That's not your
That's for
range."
mature readers.
But I still like it.
Well, do you even get it?
Do I have to? I enjoy it.
Right? Like, I mean, yeah, it'd be like any kid watching a fucking, like, a Jack Ryan movie.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get half of this shit, kid.
Right.
But you know what? There's an explosion for you.
But how about this? When I watch it in another couple of years, I'll remember it, and then I'll get more.
Yeah, it's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
It's for kids, except it's totally not.
Right.
But you know what? It's the totally not part is so much far above the bar of understanding that kids are like, I don't know, I'm just enjoying the cartoons. Then you get to be like older and you watch it, oh,
I can't believe they were making that joke.
shouldn't have been watching that. But hey, it didn't make you a crazy sex pervert.
Right. It didn't ruin
It maybe
you.
gave you a predilection for redheads with huge tits, but like otherwise,
Archie was already doing that.
Cheryl was a later edition. Cheryl's the redhead that's in Archie.
I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah, they invented her about 20, 30 years ago.
I don't really know anything about Archie.
Oh, man, well.
I know about Betty and Veronica.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know those
And
names.
then they became old news, and they're like, we got to spice this up.
Yeah.
It's got a sexy redhead in there.
That's right.
I
And
guess
that-
that sounds familiar now that you mention it.
they're not wrong. Cheryl doesn't really have much of a character, unfortunately. She's not very fun. She didn't add that oomph that the Archie brand needed.
From what I can tell, she's just... She wants everything to be hers.
Yeah,
Which
she's
is kind of like Veronica.
right. Yeah,
It's like Veronica 2.
right. 2.0. Just for the new millennium. No, the way it works is Archie gets with Betty because they're two, lower middle class home buddies. Reggie goes with Veronica because they're both selfish and obsessed with wealth. And then Dilton Doily gets Cheryl because Dilton Doily was me in high school.
And Cheryl's like, that guy can provide for me later on.
Bingo.
There.
Yes, exactly. It'll be like the end of Roby and Michelle's high school reunion. Super Sons. The story opens with the introduction of a new villain named Reggie, who is a kid.
Ah, of course.
And Reggie is seemingly having a family night watching the tube. And he's pushing them around, and you're like, what? He's like, hey, can I have some more popcorn? And his brother or whatever is like, no, you already had your... I mean, yeah, you can have some, and it's totally Children of the Corn. Like, oh no.
He's like controlling them or whatever.
Or he has such vast power that he's using it to
Yeah.
keep them where they are.
Oh, boy.
Like, you better not make me use my powers.
Exactly.
Otherwise, they'll turn you into a bobblehead or something.
Exactly. So he's like, Mom, I'm uncomfortable. She's like, oh, do you want another pillow? He's like, yeah, I can use another pillow. Which pillow would you like? Would you like the flat one or the puffy one? He's like, oh, the puffy one would be way better. And he's like, you know what, family? This is going so great. We need a group hug. And they'll just kind of look at him awkwardly, and he screams, I said group hug! And they all hug, and then it like pulls back, and it's like they're on a weird like TV set.
Oh.
And it's
not
like
real.
that episode of Batman the Animated Series with Baby Doll,
Yeah.
and you're like, what? But it's not.
That family.
Yeah, exactly. Because the idea in the Batman animated series was there's this character who had like the Gary Coleman disease, where you don't look like you age.
What?
So Gary Coleman looks like a kid, but
Well, he
he's
doesn't anymore,
old.
but he did. Yeah, remember how like Gary
Oh, okay,
Coleman, like
yes.
he was playing like a 12-year-old when he was in his 20s.
Right.
Well, Baby Doll had the same thing, and she played like the Olsen twins type character.
Okay.
And then she became a real diva because she was like in her 30s and playing an 11-year-old for like Steve Urkel type laughs.
Okay.
And so she quit the show and destroyed it, and then tried to like become a serious actress, which didn't work because she looked like an 11-year-old
Right,
trying to do
it's not
Shakespeare.
gonna work.
And so later on, she basically went insane and then kidnapped her onstage family from the old show and like brought them to the set and tried to like force them
boy.
to be part of her family, and it just went, and it was cool and sick and neat. It was the perfect Batman animated series episode. So it's like that a little bit.
Yeah.
Only that's the comparison begins and ends with it looks like that. Then we do one of those like Robin and Superboy are running from lasers and horrible robots.
right in the middle of
And they're like,
the
oh
action.
no, and Robin says, it's time for Robin and Superboy to take a stand. And then Superboy's like, why did Robin come first? And he says, 'cause I'm older. Superboy's like, well, I'm taller. And then you're like,
alphabetical.
right.
There you go.
And then it's like, well, why are Robin and Superboy fighting robots in the forest? Well, let's go back. Let's go back.
no.
Find out why. Bet you're wondering why I'm here.
Why
do
can't
we
we
always
just
have to do
start at the
that?
beginning?
Because it,
If that first issue doesn't have action
That's the
in
thing.
it,
We got to get right into the action.
yeah,
You got to
no
see
one's-
that there's action.
No one's gonna buy an issue of Super Sons where the first page is Jonathan Kent walking up to the bus and meeting the new bus driver, and then getting on the bus, and then getting into an altercation with some bullies who are bothering his would-be girlfriend. Like, that's boring and unrelatable. So it's totally relatable and not boring. That's why I'm reading the book.
No, you're reading the book so you get something that you've never seen before.
Yeah,
Like
you want lasers.
lasers and stuff.
Yeah.
And robots.
Exactly. Fair enough. I mean, like, yes.
this is just like an episode of Buffy or Angel or any other type of like weird supernatural show where like we have to give you the hook of
Yeah.
what's wrong, and then we can start off.
Right. Then we can give you the drama, the thing that you're actually here for.
So like this is the credits right here. Robin and Superboy. All right, roll the intro.
Yep, exactly. Their great, sweet theme song. But,
It's Robin and
no, I don't want to hear it. I just sang.
You sure?
Yeah. Plus, I don't know about. It's Robin Superboy. It sounded like a variety show.
No, I'm sure it's gonna be great.
Superboy bumps into Kathy, who is his neighbor and friend. Kathy was established in an earlier story where she's She lives with her grandpa, and they're neighbors to the Kents, and
Were they the ones in the tree?
yes,
Yeah,
they're the ones
okay.
in the tree.
Oh, yeah, okay.
She saw him roast his cat with his would-be heat vision.
And she
right.
said, I won't tell.
Yes, exactly. Turns out she's an alien, but that's another story. So, a couple of douchey
missed that
kids.
entirely.
We didn't do that story. So, a couple of douchey kids are picking on some kid, as they would
Yep.
on a bus.
It's a school bus.
Yep.
Yeah, that happens.
And they're shooting spitballs at him, and Jonathan's like, I gotta get involved, because I'm Superman's son.
Yep.
He doesn't say that out loud, obviously, but we all get it. And Kathy's like, don't get involved. And he's like, nope, that's literally...
I'm already involved. I'm
already getting up. So he walks over there and he says like, all right, you guys have to leave him alone. And they're like, who do you think you are, Superman? And you're like, no, that's cute. And then they spit him with spitballs. And then the bus driver's like, everybody shut up. The bus is moving.
Shut up, everybody.
So then they go, and then we are saved an entire day's worth of banal school activities just cut to
Yay.
the end. So
Look, you already went through school. You don't need to see this
we
again.
get it. So John,
This is a book about being on the bus,
well,
going to and from school.
Exactly. So John, the kid who was picked on, and Kathy are leaving school, and Jonathan's like, I've got an idea about how we can get back at them the way that children would.
Right.
We're going to have a snowball fight. And so
Cool.
they break out their snowballs, and the kids are throwing snowballs at each other. And you're like, oh, this is kind of cute and whimsical.
Yeah.
And then John presses his so hard it becomes
Like a diamond.
dice.
Blast to that kid's eye. And New 52, Jonathan Kent, written by Brian Michael Bendis. Now, instead, one of the bullies like puts a rock in the snowball, and it hits a little boy in the head.
Wow.
That shit sucks.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
And John's like, okay. He whips off his glasses, his heat vision builds up, and he's like,
oh.
I can't use my powers. Dad says I can't use my powers. Plus, what am I going to do? Burn them alive?
I mean, I could melt all the snow.
Yeah.
Right, but it might arouse suspicion.
Yeah.
So as he's deciding to not do anything,
Uh-huh.
a giant snowball falls from the sky and lands on all the kids.
Huh.
John looks up and sees the substitute bus driver standing
Oh.
there where the snowball came from,
Oh.
That's funny. Oh my God.
and Damian is the would-be bus driver in his patented...
Right, his Matches Balone-esque disguise.
Yep.
That's awesome.
This
Wait,
is
was
really
he
funny.
driving the bus before?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Damian is a precocious young lad.
How are his legs long enough to even do that?
has- he has
oh,
lifts.
he's got. Oh my God. That's
I was like,
awesome.
wait, why does he look so tall?
Yeah.
That's why.
Because Damian is always prepared, which is like in keeping with his character, and it's great because it allows us to skip ahead when normally things would be like, wait. But that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Does that mean Damian was just hanging out as the bus driver during the school day?
I think
Just like in the
Damian-
teacher's lounge?
I think Damian was spying on John the entire time. Like, because that's who
weird.
Damian is. He's a creeper. And also, like, while Damian picks on John all the time about John being like a farm boy and a okie shit kicking like loser, he also really like is the only kid who gives him any time and
Right.
respect. So he really likes him. Later on, Damian, who single-handedly takes over the Teen Titans, even though he has no business being there. But in Rebirth, he turned 13, so technically he's a teen, so he can be the Teen Titans.
I'm Robin, fuck you.
Yeah. He takes over the Teen Titans and then starts calling the shots, even though he's got like adults on that team, like Starfire, who are like, stop. But he's also
You're not in charge.
Right, but he's also not usually wrong. He's also kind of a genius.
Right.
I've been trained by Batman.
Exactly.
What do you want?
Yeah, you always make a Robin in charge. Well, not you, because you're a complete asshole.
Yeah, being a genius is not being a leader.
Right, and he's a terrible one. So, because he's always right, and he always has to get the last word, and he's always
Yeah.
got to be the one who gets the coup d'etat on the villain. It's a terrible matchmake for a team, but it's a great recipe for a compelling comic book.
Right,
they
conflict
think.
and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But later on, Damian will try and get John to join the Titans. And basically, he tells the Titans, like, John's on the team. And they're all like, no. And he's like, he's
but I said
flabbergasted,
yes.
but I said yes. And they're like, yeah, but he's not even a teenager. He's like 12.
Okay.
Oh.
He is
But not-
indestructible.
but
What do you
also-
want?
Yeah, but also, yeah, that's what he was saying. He's like, he's Superman. We got our own Superman on the team.
Right.
Plus, he's a good kid.
Are you kidding me?
And they're like, no, we don't know him. We can't trust him, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, and I was like, this is a great opportunity for Damian to quit the Teen Titans and get off this book because he doesn't
yeah.
belong here. And he practically does,
That
but
would
then
be
he doesn't
cool.
leave the team. Then he creates his own gulag where he like keeps villains without food, water, or bathroom privileges.
What?
Yeah, because he's a complete psychopath. Because that's where we need to go with this character. But let's forget all that and just stick to this book about fun kids.
Having a good time.
Yeah. So Damian's like, "Hi, I'm here and I need you because
Took care of your
I've got
problem because
Right.
you couldn't.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're such an idiot, John." And it's like a distillation of how Batman basically treats Superman.
Yeah.
It's like, you dumbass. He doesn't say it
this.
out loud. Anyway, so he's like, yeah, well, we're gonna go. Like, we got work to do. And John's like, no. Like,
What?
you
You don't get to just show up and
don't
tell
come
me
to
what
my
to do.
home and tell me what to do and steal my bus driver and everything. I'm going now. And he gets on the bus.
What did you put him, by the way? What did you do with the bus driver?
Exactly.
I made him sick.
They do have a back and forth about it. He's like, I dumped him in the ocean. He's like, what?
Well, no, you didn't.
Yeah, he didn't. But
No.
So then Damian like basically leaves defeated and goes to the Batcave and he's just like training, you know. And Batman's like, I'm going out. And Damian's like, I'll go. And Batman's like, no, because you're not done because you're being homeschooled by Alfred and you have work to do. And Alfred said that you basically blew off all your assignments because you think you're a genius.
Uh-oh.
And I'm goddamn Batman. And so I say no.
I happen to know you're not.
And I'm your dad.
Yeah. And I'm your dad. But he's like, why do I need class? I already know everything. He's like, that is exactly why you need to stay here. So we basically see like a comparison between the two lifestyles. Damian is in a dank, miserable cave with a servant and his cold, unfeeling Batman dad.
Who's leaving.
Who's leaving him there alone. And the other flip side of that is John at home with his mom and dad, and they're all playing poker.
That's sweet.
And John...
And they're not cheating?
No. And John is telling them what happened at school and being completely honest about what happened.
Oh.
He's like, I ran into Damian, and it was a snowball fight, blah, blah, blah. And I tried to take care of this kid, and like they didn't listen to me, and, you know, and Superman's like, well, that's, you know, that's how it works, you know, like it's not always going to work, but, you know, you did the right thing, and I'm proud of you. And then Lois wins, because she always does. And, you know, and John and Clark have a deal where they don't use their X-ray vision.
Right.
They're not cheaters. That's who they.
Right,
you know,
right.
They wouldn't
It's a
even
family
need a
game.
deal.
Yeah.
But I love it because, like, you know, they're like, how does Mom always win? It's like, because that's who Mom is. Like, she's better.
She's just good at poker.
She's good at bluffing more than
Right.
Superman.
Yeah.
She was a reporter.
Yeah. So then Superman gets a call from the League. He's like, I gotta go. He kisses his wife, you know, nuzzles his son, and then flies out the window, and Mom and son are left by themselves. John goes to bed, and then Damian appears out of the darkness, and he's like, oh, it's 9 p.m., time for the kids to go to bed, right? And John's like, oh my God, you are insufferable.
I almost melted you.
Yeah. He's like, so we gotta go. Like, I got plans, and I need you to help me facilitate them, so let's go. And then you hear Lois is like, John, is everything okay? And then, you know, they do a little quick thing. John's like reading. He's like, oh, it's just, sorry, it was just pornography on my laptop. I was just masturbating. Lois is like, well, keep it down and turn off your computer and go to bed. So,
Like, okay, sure you were.
yeah. So,
Here's the thing. If you admit that it's porn, it's definitely not porn.
right.
Yeah.
So Lois goes back to whatever she's doing. John is then left with Damian, and Damian's like, come on, let's go. And John's like, I have school tomorrow.
Where? What do you do? Just tell me.
Exactly. He goes, no, we're going out. We got to go on patrol and stuff. Like, because they
Just
set
gotta
up,
go looking for trouble.
basically. Well, no, Damian has a plan.
Oh, okay.
There is something he wants to follow up on, and he needs a blunt instrument to help him facilitate it. But also, Clark and Bruce established before the Rebirth thing where they merged New 52 and Real Superman into one Superman. They established a deal where Superman and Batman were going to get their kids to have to train together
Okay.
because they both have a lot to learn from each other. And so they have to get together, even if they don't like each other, especially if they don't like each other.
Well, none of that. I'm sure it was also a little bit of a deal where Superman's like, I don't want another Batman, so John has to train with him and make him good.
Right?
And Batman's saying, I don't want another Boy Scout, so Damian's got to train with him.
I can imagine that being a motivation. But I like the way that Damian gets John out of bed. He says, like, what's your name again? And he's like, it's John. He goes, no, it's Superboy. So let's go be Super. Superboy's like, okay. We got a fun little homage to Dark Knight Returns.
Yay.
Superboy and Robin go to Metropolis where they break into LexCorp, or they're
What?
trying to, because
Jeez.
because Damian wants to swipe some files from Lex Luthor's computer.
Okay.
But what they don't count on is the fact that in the Rebirth era, Lex Luthor is Superman. And
What?
so Lex Luthor appears in his Superman armor because when Lex Luthor was ruler of Apokolips for a little while, he got a taste of leadership. And when he came back home, New 52 Superman died, and Lex Luthor then decided to become Superman because there wasn't one.
And took up the mantle.
And so he took up the mantle, and he took that Superman's cape, and he built like an apocalyptic armor Superman suit and became a superhero.
Did he learn a lesson where, like, I need to be good,
Yeah.
and Superman was my idol, so
Yeah.
I'm going to become super... It's not like, this is just another plan to become
Here's
powerful.
the thing. Remember a while ago when we talked about this idea about how cool it'd be to get superior Superman?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Ah.
Only
Okay.
Superman actually dies.
No, this is cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm on board.
Yeah, Lex Luthor basically seeks to become like a better Superman because I'm also a human being.
Right.
So watch me be better, but also kind of carry on the legacy of this guy that I kind of actually did respect a little bit, as it turns
Interesting.
out.
But now Superman's back.
Then there were two Supermen for a little while.
Yeah, so like we don't need you.
No.
Go away, Lex.
But
we got the
maybe
real
when
one.
Superman came back, Luthor and he butted heads because this Superman was like, Lex, no, you can't be Superman.
You're a bad guy.
Yeah, but they go on an adventure together across like space, and they learn a lesson about how valuable each other is.
And Lex is also like, hey, our Superman died.
Yeah, but then eventually that Superman and our Superman merge into one Superman.
Yeah, so
it
like
doesn't
he didn't
matter.
even really die.
right
He's
at
me.
all. Yeah. Well, they didn't even need to explain it because then the continuity arranges around them, so
Right.
they never even had that argument.
But
This
Lex
is weird.
Luthor is evil, though.
Right.
Like, I get that, like, people, no, he's cool, and he, like, really wants to, like, no, he doesn't. He's evil. He
Yes.
wants to help himself. At the end of the day,
Yes.
all his, like pontificating is just, like, rationalization of his, like, horrible things that he does.
Yeah, but that's because he wants it all to be about him. And what's it all about if you're not a superhero?
Right.
You get the gratification of everyone. Everyone loves you. That's awesome.
By the way, he also finds out that Bruce Wayne is Batman during Forever Evil,
Oh,
and he uses that leverage to ingratiate himself into the Justice League.
wow.
Like, I want to be on the Justice League, Bruce. And Batman's like, shit.
Jeez.
Yeah, he uses all of his Lex Luthor tactics to become a superhero.
Right.
But then he actually becomes a superhero.
Does he?
Yeah.
He doesn't have, like, a plan?
No, and I really was expecting it to happen.
Interesting, yeah.
And then Scott Snyder wanted to make him a supervillain again for the new Justice League book, so he is.
See, it's just,
Well, what happens is
they
Lex
tried
Luthor,
to do a thing, and then they're
Yeah.
like, nah, but he's a bad guy, though.
It lasted a good year. So Lex Luthor sees into the future, and he sees that basically he takes over the world one day.
Oh.
But not like that he takes over the world. It's more like his influence takes over the world. So like in 100 years or 1,000 years or whatever, like everything is ruled by Lex Luthor or done by Lex Luthor's ideology.
Okay.
Like he becomes like a god.
Yeah.
Or he
So
instills a
worshipful-
system
yeah.
upon the world or something.
No,
Or maybe
it's-
his company runs
No,
everything?
no, it's just that like people worship Lex Luthor.
I see.
But he's like, this is great. They finally worship me, but I want to be alive when they do it.
Turns out Lex Luthor was the best of us. Why can't they say that now?
That's exactly what he says. And
makes
so he's
sense,
like,
all right.
well, screw this. So then he becomes Lex Luthor again, and he's like, well, I've got to start like taking over now, so that I can bring that future to now.
Right. When can then be now?
Soon. Then we cut back to Reggie. Remember Reggie
Oh, yeah.
and his family? Reggie then just savagely murders his entire family,
What?
just for fun. His sister, however, is like, please don't do this. And he's like, no, I'm just going to keep doing it. And he just murders his entire family in front of his sister.
Wow.
He also...
Does he kill her?
No.
Oh, okay.
But she runs away before he's capable of doing that.
Okay.
But he does also split himself up into 4 different people.
Oh.
4 different himselves. He multiplies himself by 4.
Okay.
And so there's 4 of Reggie's that are killing his family. And he's like, stop calling me Reggie. My name is Kid Amazo.
Okay.
We're
I don't know who
establishing
that is.
a fun
Yeah, he's a villain.
super villain
He's a
for
bad
these
guy.
kids.
Yeah.
Not someone who was previously created?
Okay. So before the New 52, Lex Luthor invented a virus that was a variant on the Amazo android that was basically like the Super Adaptoid, where it's an android that can absorb the powers or replicate the powers of the Justice League.
Wait, you said it was a virus.
Well, Lex Luthor reverse engineered the artificial intelligence that made it into like a robot that could augment or duplicate powers into a synthetic biological organism.
So that it can affect people and not
Yes.
just robots.
Well, not just that one robot,
Yeah.
or the many robots that become the Amazo android. But yes, it becomes a virus that then gives people superpowers. But it also boils their brains.
Oh.
but like
Pretty serious
3%
side
of
effect.
those people who get it also like kept their powers and didn't die. Superman was immune because of his Kryptonian biology, so they made a vaccine out of his blood to fix it. But basically, Lex Luthor invents a virus that allowed certain people to become superpowered,
I see.
and those who didn't die kept their powers for later books that never were made.
So like they're mutants
Yes.
in DC.
Right.
It's like, oh, they could.
We did
Anytime
that-
we need a superpowered character, we can just invent one and
One
say
of them
that
was
they came from that.
One of the
Mesovirus.
3%, Mesovirus.
Mesovirus.
I'm
Remember
actually
the
shocked
Mesovirus?
they didn't do it nearly as often. But yeah, so
But they all somehow also call themselves Amazo. I'm Kid Amazo. Well, I'm Amazo Man.
I think Reggie knows where it came from, so he decided to use it. Also, no one else like really aped off of this concept. Also, it's Rebirth, so New 52 said that didn't happen, so now it's Rebirth, so it did, and it's more convenient because like I don't have to establish a firm timeline if I just tell you that the things you like happened and the things you don't like didn't. So I'll just move on from there.
I don't want to explain it.
Yeah.
You don't have to. It's Rebirth.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Bingo. That's exactly what they do. So Kid Amazo has superpowers, and so does his sister.
Oh.
The family got the.
What's her power?
She
She
can,
also has red hair. Like,
That's her
gee,
power?
There you go. That's not her power.
We all have red hair.
That's her power, no. But like,
We can't be out in the sun.
I burn.
It's not really a power as much as it's a deficiency. Fair enough.
My power level is determined by how many freckles I have.
Yeah, we don't tan. No, she can communicate with machines. Lex Luthor Superman is like, what are you boys doing here? And also, who is that boy with the Superman costume? Because Lex Luthor does not know that Superman has a son.
So he just catches them immediately.
Oh, immediately.
Yeah.
Well, they're breaking into LexCorp Tower. That's where
And
he
it's
gets.
like cameras and stuff.
Well, and he's got the suit, which is built by Lex, so I'm sure that if there's ever a break-in there,
Yeah.
it just blips off the suit.
Right.
He's like, oh, go here.
Whoop. Yeah. So,
What did Damian think was gonna happen?
oh, he knew about this.
Oh, I see.
So he goes, did you know, Superman, that the Superboy can't fly? And he pushes Superboy off the skyscraper, just lets him plummet. So then Lex Luthor's like, okay. So then he flies down there and catches him.
Okay.
Which gives Robin time to break in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he breaks in
That's smart.
and
Horrible.
yes.
I needed someone who, if he didn't catch them, would still be okay, but also
Right.
needed to be safe.
Yes. So Lex catches Superboy, and then Superboy just kicks him in the face, and then just like tries to rejoin Robin. And
Wait, does Superboy know that Lex is bad?
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, his
'cause
dad
his dad's
told him
Superman,
about
yeah.
Lex, but he also knows that Superman gave him a pass.
Right.
But he's like, don't.
It's like, I know you're trying to be good, but you still suck, and I'm still gonna kick you.
Right. But
Because
Lex
you did kill lots of people.
Right. You're still a
yeah, like
monster.
that still happened.
But let's pretend like it didn't because you're wearing Superman's cape.
Yeah.
So they have a little back and forth, Superboy and Lex, where Lex is just desperately trying to figure out like who he is, which is fun. I like that.
That's
idea.
cool,
And
yeah.
I wish they'd explored it a little further, but they never do. But he basically says like, so why is your little friend planting explosives in my lab right now?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, So then they go join Robin, and he's planting an explosive. And he says, like, did you really think you were going to get away with planting explosives? I'm Lex Luthor. I'm smarter
Right.
than you.
Yeah.
And so he uses, like, a special beam on his super suit that, like, neutralizes the explosive that Robin planted. And Robin's like, nice job. But now I'm going to give you the count of 5 to get out of here and go find the other 11 explosives that I already planted. And Lex's like, oh, crap. So then Robin
This
and
is
Superboy...
why I'm not having kids.
Exactly. So Robin and Superboy escape, and they run away, and Superboy's like, what is your problem?
What was the point of all that?
And he's like, well, it was all subterfuge so that I could break into his computer system and download it onto my tablet.
Okay.
Because I want to get some information because I've found out about... Because Robin's investigating the Kid Amazo problem.
Oh,
I didn't realize that was a
So he
problem.
already knows about it.
Yeah. Well, because he knows that there's this, like...
I'm 12 steps ahead, man.
Exactly. So they go to the Robin cycle, which is parked a few blocks away.
Nice.
I like that it's a dirt bike.
Yeah.
Because of course it's a dirt bike.
Right?
Yeah.
He's also too young
awesome.
to drive a real motorcycle.
Yeah. Plus,
But
you
like,
can go anywhere.
Dirt bikes are any age.
Yeah.
That's right, exactly. It might as well be a moped.
They're any age. They can go on any terrain.
Yeah. Yeah, he's well versed in all manner of vehicles. So.
Well, this isn't the spider bug. It's not going to go up walls.
Well,
Probably not.
but it can go on mountains and stuff.
Yeah, it's true. So Robin's like, well, now that I have all this surveillance information from Lex Luthor, I have to go over it. But it's gonna take me a few weeks to go over like all the hours and hours of like of information.
Right. So
And-
I'll see you in a few weeks.
Yeah, and then Superboy's like, or I could just watch it at super speed, And Superboy does, and he's like, okay, I've got all the like key information from that video. I guess
Damian's
that's
like, I hate you.
more like Damian's like, this is why you're here.
Yep.
I said that so that it would bait you into doing it for me.
Yep.
They don't know who the boy is, but they do know that the boy is dangerous and what he's doing, and they also see that like he's 4 places at once. So they're like, okay, there's something up with this kid. Robin runs his face through the Bat computer's recognition software to find out who he is.
Right.
And he's like, this is Reggie, and Reggie Meyer got was a survivor of the Amazo virus. So he's got all the context he needs for who Reggie is and where he
He tells us who he is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So then,
And then they ride off on their sweet dirt bike, and they're both wearing helmets.
yes,
Yeah.
well, because they
Very
should.
responsible.
Yep. Because
We're
even
depicting
though
them wearing helmets.
Superboy is super strong,
Right.
he is not so strong that he's gonna buck the law.
Right.
Good kid. Safe too, because you never know. Maybe there's a kryptonite rock somewhere nearby, or a
Oh,
truck.
Damian's got one on him, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
or a truck kicks up a kryptonite pebble and just shoots through his head like a bullet. Anyway, so they break into like the warehouse where they expect Kizmazo to be,
Okay.
and they find like a bunch of dead bodies of his like family.
Yeah.
And John goes, "I'm out. Dead people. No,
Yep.
we're gonna call the Justice
I'm a
League."
kid.
What
I'm not supposed to be
provoked-
dealing with this.
Damian's like, "No, we're not done. We're still working on this case." John wanders into the woods where he finds the sister.
Okay.
While he's running into the sister, Damian is investigating the bodies, and as he's investigating it, Superman is happening upon Damian, whereas Batman is happening upon John.
Oh.
And you're like, oh no, they're gonna get such a talking to.
Uh-huh.
Several months ago, we see like
Let's go back.
yeah in
Again.
in
we're
Providence.
we're already back.
we're
Now
gonna
let's go back
further.
again.
Yeah. Remember,
Okay.
we still have to catch up to the first 2 pages. Of the
Right.
book.
We haven't even. Yeah.
I like the idea of show us, don't tell us, but this is the wrong way to do it.
I don't know. I'm enjoying it. So basically, the idea is that like Reggie and his family were superheroes for a little while
Oh,
because of the
like
Amazo
Incredibles.
virus. Yes.
Cool.
And so Reggie's power is that he can he's seemingly that he can multiply, and
Like
they beat up
Multiple Man.
right like multiple man. Superboy's trying to protect the little girl or the similarly aged girl who's cute and has red hair, and Superboy's like, "Hi."
Hey, they figure out right away it's not Batman, it's a robot.
Kind of.
Oh.
Well, because they're fighting them, because they're attacking them viciously. And John is obsessed with protecting the girl, whereas Damian's obsessed with trying to kill Superman because he's like, "Aha! I'm so great at everything."
Well, also, he doesn't have anyone to protect.
Yeah. So then the two of them basically have like a big fight with each other.
In the middle of this fight with
Yeah, with Damian and John. Yeah, they're basically just like, if you hadn't run off,
Right.
then we wouldn't be in this predicament, and we could have taken them together. And
If
they
you
basically
hadn't been here in the first place.
yeah, and then they just like start fighting each other, and the robots are like, "What?" And then Damian is like, "Now," and then the two of them go, "Now," and then they both join in and punch Batman and Superman at the same time.
Aha, the fight was totally a
It was a
distraction.
distraction.
Yep,
That's cool.
exactly. So then Superman and Batman get the upper hand, and then the sister is like, "All right, that's enough. Put them down right now." And so they do, and she's like, "Yeah, that's my ability. I can talk to robots.
No.
They're robots."
They were sent by
By Kid Amazo.
Kid Amazo, and then
she
she
is
blocked
like-
them and
Exactly.
took them over. Okay.
Yep. And she's like, "Okay, we were superheroes, but like my brother was never like a nice person. Like we were a good family, but he was always kind of a dick. And like every time he split up his body, he split up his mind as well, and it made him more of a jerk and less focused and more insane. And he basically had this like idea about like he stole the Amazo armor, which is this like armor that Lex Luthor had developed from LexCorp, so that he can use it combined with the Amazo blood that was within him to like split himself up and also create like Amazo android creatures.
Like from himself?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
So it wouldn't just be him, it would also be robots.
yes. And by the way, the people that he was murdering weren't his family, they were robot duplicates, and he was just like working things out.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
What happened to his family?
He just tied him up and put him over there. So,
It's so much nicer when I
so-
actually get to murder them.
no, he's
then-
murdering them in front of them. He's like, "Watch as I murder you."
Like, see what I could do?
Right.
yeah. This will be you in a minute. That's more of a 12-year-old.
I feel so much better.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna kill my family.
Exactly. I'm not that messed up.
But I do have a fantasy that I want to kill my family, so I'm gonna do it on these robots.
Yes, and I want to like make my family feel bad, so I'm going to do it in front of them.
Right.
Thereby giving them like years of therapy forever.
I want them to think that I would kill them.
Right.
Especially
And
with
to
the
be able to
blood.
picture it happening.
Exactly. Kid Amazo makes like a bunch of Robin and Superboy androids that go chase after them from the bodies of the defeated Batman and Superman robots.
Okay. So we can like reconfigure
Yeah.
androids and stuff?
Exactly.
All right.
Well, and luckily
Well, they're like liquid metal.
They're
so-
smaller, so I can make more of them.
Right.
Exactly.
I got 2 big ones, I can make like 6 small ones.
Exactly, which is why, you know, when they're fighting them,
Right, we see all these.
all these Superboy and Robins.
They look like puppets.
They do, which I think is deliberate.
Yeah. Because they have like the line down the face.
And
like
their mouths are not like mouths; they're
Yeah.
more like just steel traps.
Once you
cool.
know it's a robot, why would I even bother putting a flesh facade on it?
It's just more effort.
Yeah.
It's more detail. No, it's quicker if I just
You'll
make
get
them.
the idea.
I got the costumes on.
Plus, I kind of want them to look a little bit scary.
Right. Yeah. So it's cute because like
I also
when-
don't want you to get confused when you're reading the book and you're not sure who's who.
Yes, it's another key point. So they fight some robots and they protect Sarah, the sister.
Yeah.
She uses her powers to kind of like keep them at bay, but like you know it takes a toll on her.
Right.
And so we catch up to where we were.
Is there like some like master plan of Kid Amazo's that they have to thwart, or is it more like it's just like he's just a dick and we have to beat him?
It's that one.
Okay. Now, what was the part about the where they saw him on camera like doing stuff? Was that where he's stealing the robots?
That's where he's stealing the Kid Amazo armor.
the armor. Okay.
Well, the Amazo armor. He's Kid Amazo.
So his entire plan, as far as we know, is to just steal the armor, make robots.
Yes.
Be a
And then
dick.
I can't be stopped.
Yeah. And then I think his plan, and I remember he monologues when he ultimately defeats John and Damian and ties them upside down from the ceiling. And when he monologues, he says something to the effect of like, I was going to create duplicates that were going to like infiltrate the Justice League and kill them. Like my plan was
Why?
basically to just become like the bestest, coolest, raddest out there and
Yeah.
defeat everyone.
Okay.
And so, but like I guess I'll kill you first.
Sure.
Meanwhile,
That's what a teenager would do, yeah. I see that.
right.
So-
well, if I'm going to be a superhero
I might as well
or
be
villain,
the best one.
I might as well be the only one.
exactly.
So do we believe from this, reading this, that he could have succeeded or can succeed at infiltrating the Justice League, or is it more like he has this like idea, but like in reality, the Justice League would have just like kicked his ass?
I think it's almost certainly that the Justice League. I mean, Cyborg would have noticed immediately,
Right.
but it would have been a real nuisance. And the Justice
Right.
League has bigger fish to fry. I'm glad the Super Sons took care of
It could have been a distraction at a key moment that maybe they didn't need to deal with.
Exactly.
And once they realize it's a kid, they're not going to beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, exactly. Batman might. So, as this is all going on, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Lois checks on John and finds he's gone. Alfred goes and checks on Damian, and he just like says to himself, like, at least when Master Richard used to sneak out, he would take the effort to create some kind of dummy under the bed.
yeah, David doesn't give a shit.
Exactly.
He's just like, I'm
Damn
leaving.
it. Right,
Basically.
I'm going. And, well, you can't leave. Okay, close door, leave. Open door immediately. He left. Son of a bitch.
That's 45.
Okay.
All right.
I love it though when Superboy and Robin are defeated and they're hanging upside down. Robin is like, "So Superboy, do you even like have powers? Because why are we even here?"
Right. Why don't you just break these chains?
Right? Superboy's like, "God damn it!" Because they fluctuate. I'm still working on them. I can't
Right.
fly. My CE vision's all out of whack.
Guess what? I could break the chains. I'd probably crush you in the procedure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Kid Amazo monologues, like I explained, the dummies like Robin and Superboy's reveal that the parents weren't actually murdered, and he's
Okay.
like, "But
See, I haven't committed any crimes here.
no, but you guys kind of forced my hand because now that you're aware of my machinations, I have to act earlier, and so maybe I will murder my family right now
What? What?
because I do want to do that. Like I do want to kill my family."
Oh, like ultimately they are
I'm
going
crazy.
to die.
Yes.
And you forced me to speed up the timeline, so they're going to die right now.
Exactly. Damian says in about 3 seconds, Kid Amazo is going to get his head caved in. 3, 2, 1, and then Lex Luthor, Superman, shows up.
What? How does he know that's going to happen?
Because Damian knew that Lex Luthor was tracking what Damian had done, and he also knew where Lex Luthor's Superman armor was in relation to where they were and how long it was going to take for him to arrive. And he knew that once Luthor found out that his Amazo armor was missing, he would definitely try to show up and reclaim it.
Okay.
So, Superman, I guess, like starts
A really angry Superman.
starts dispatching the robots handily and also engages Kid Amazo. Robin ultimately takes out Kid Amazo easily. Like he breaks his arm and like punches him in the face.
Oh wow.
And then Superboy and Robin like collect the family. Robin gets the pretty girl, whereas Superboy has to carry the entire family. And so they leave.
Don't look at me like this. You have powers.
Right.
Is the little girl unable to walk? Why is he carrying her?
No, it's because like Robin is a little faster.
Oh, okay.
And so
Even with a person on his back, he's faster than she would be
He's
just
trained,
running.
you see.
yes, exactly.
I see. Okay.
He's in shape.
So basically, they run away while Lex Luthor is
Engaging
finishing
Kid
off the
Amazo.
robots.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
And then basically Kid Amazo like tries to reconstitute himself and like create like a big. He's gonna Akira this bitch. I'm gonna make all the. I'm
They're gonna take all the pieces and make a big thing that'll
and
be
then
inside.
Sarah uses her powers to strip the Amazo armor from Reggie's body. And then the armor starts heading towards John, and John's like, "Are you still controlling it? Like, what the hell is this thing doing?" We didn't get into a whole thing about like sentient, evil-looking symbiote armor, you know. And then Superman / Lex Luthor like stomps on it and kills it. And he's like, "Don't worry,
Well, we'll
I'll call the
never find
authorities."
out.
Yep. Well, we'll never know. I will because I'm going to take it back with me, but you won't. So anyway, I've called the authorities, and if
Stop breaking into my place.
right, stop breaking into my place.
I called
and-
your parents, and they're very cross.
I don't know if you know this. Superman and I are like this now.
Yeah, he doesn't quite say that. He's more like, "I'm going to give you a 3-minute head start before I tan your hides." And
Okay.
so Sarah basically
Sure.
like, stays with her brother, and
Really?
yeah, she's like because they're family.
All right.
Also, the rest of her family is still there.
Right. They're all like, and the authorities are coming,
Wait,
and so Superman's
no,
going to
they
facilitate.
carried them all out. Where the hell are they?
They're like,
just put them
they're
over
like
there.
a mile away in the woods.
Why did Sarah come back?
Because Sarah was crucial to their plan of stripping the Amazo armor from Reggie.
Yeah, because she has powers and is not unconscious. It looks like the family was like out.
Yeah, they were definitely under or pretending to be, so because they didn't want to deal with it. They were certainly sedated.
Pretending to be asleep.
Whoa!
Hey, I can.
No, we're really good at
I
this.
can see you like opening your eyes
No,
every
I'm
so often.
fainted. I'm unconscious.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well,
Coward. Let's put you in the woods.
well done, Dad. So they go back to Hamilton County. They go to John's house, and Robin's like, "Whoa, what are we stopping here for? You gotta run me back to Gotham. My bike was destroyed during the fight." And John's like, "Find your own freaking way home." And he's like, "It's like 7 in the morning. Like
I got school, man.
I got school. I'm gonna be like wrecked." So then he climbs in the window, and Robin follows him. And when they arrive, Lois and Alfred are there.
I like that Alfred
I knew
went
exactly
to
where to
Superman's
go.
house.
I also love that. Lois just like, "You boys better start talking and quick." Then Alfred's like, "Yes, and I believe ditto is the operative word here." You're like, this is a team up I never thought I want to see, and I love it. It's
That's a
adorable.
parenting team up. It's a
Yeah,
because
because
Alfred's
Alfred is
basically-
obviously his father. Like,
yeah.
I love.
I like the way that Lois is drawn here.
Oh,
It's
because
just
she's
like
been
her,
up
like,
all night.
pajamas and
Yep.
yeah.
Her hair is frayed. She's got like bags under her eyes. She's just like, and of course Alfred is just. No, I've been like this since yesterday.
You understand? I am always like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always up late. I'm always traveling around after one of them.
I'm always in a tuxedo. I flew better than first class to get here.
Oh no, he drove.
Yeah. I drove in a luxury car that drove itself. I took a Batmobile to get here.
That would be hilarious if Alfred's just like, look, when I don't have to chauffeur around Bruce or Damian, I get to be the chauffeur.
That's
I snap
right.
my fingers, the car drives itself.
The car drives
It's wonderful.
itself. Go Mach 3. Brr. I want to see what Lois and Alfred were talking about the entire time.
Yeah, I want to see an entire comic that's just them
Waiting for them to come home. So, Ms. Lane, what are you going to do when they get home? Because I don't have any idea.
Here's the thing,
what
I'm
I'm
not
doing.
allowed to discipline him.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Like, Bruce won't. But not in any way that I approve. Like, Bruce will, like, train harder with him.
Right.
Which means he'll probably, like, beat him.
Yeah, he'll make him more effective
At
at like
being a Robin.
evading punishment by me.
Right.
But that's just not gonna help.
Yeah. Now-
Whereas like Lois's son is invulnerable and like she can't do anything to him at all. So like,
Exactly.
you it's kind of a similar problem actually.
Yeah.
You can't
That's
do
true.
anything to him physically.
Right. So like,
But mentally and
yeah,
emotionally?
What mental gymnastics do you play on him?
Well, how can you mentally torment him so that'll stop?
Exactly. That's the thing. That's one of the reasons why I hate Damian. I want him to go away because like Damian doesn't regard Alfred, and I like Alfred more than Damian, and I will
Right.
forever.
Right.
Like
You're
Alfred
making
has,
a fool out of Alfred, and you don't care for that.
Alfred has more of a place in the cave than Damian does, and Damian is Bruce Wayne's son.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, like you didn't earn any of this shit.
Yep.
Like,
But isn't that what a child is, really?
yeah,
I mean,
I guess.
hey,
Like the worst kind of child.
Well, yeah.
Damian's like the most obnoxious, like piece
Trust
of
fund
shit
bastard
that I-
kid.
yeah.
Don't worry, eventually Alfred will have a kid. And that'll be Damian's ward or servant or whatever it is.
Oh my God.
No.
He would treat him that way.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun book.
Oh yeah. It seems to be that would be like a bestseller because people would
Isn't
love
that what happened with Alfred? Like Alfred's parents were servants to the Wayne family?
Yeah.
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 That sucks.
Yeah, that's why Alfred doesn't have any kids. He's like, let it die with me. You can get a copy of the first volume of Super Sons in the description below this video, so check it out. I advise you to go do that because it's just a great series, and it's fun. And Jorge Jimenez cannot have his praises sung any louder because he's so great. And, so show him some love. We'll see you guys next time with another episode of Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
Thanks a lot for watching.